LinkedIn said I'm not approved. Okay. We will remove them. All right. Welcome to the first podcast of Spiritual Alchemy Energy with Julianne Guthrie Smolson. And today I have Stefn Thorsman and Justin Cha. You can correct me if I pronounce that wrong. Thorsman. All right.
Hi,
so
everyone.
Today we are blessing the show and setting intentions for the show. And I started the show not just because of the pandemic, but this is an extension of my own business where I wanted to have healers come into my space and practice in my space, and to have a lot of the community come in and experience spiritual healing and spirituality here. So that's why I started the show. And today I'm going to ask Justin, would you like to start with a blessing for the show?
Yeah, sure.
Let's introduce yourself first and
yeah,
who you are and what you do.
So I am an intuitive coach and a teacher. I teach different modalities, energy healing modalities, such as Reiki and Theta healing. I'm also a massage therapist, but I travel and I do my session remotely over the phone. That's how energy works, is that you don't have to be in person to do the work. And so I take a lot of clients over the phone mostly. I don't have a location yet, but then I can pretty much work with you anywhere around the world. So yeah, so energy is my thing, and we're gonna start with a prayer.
Let's have Stefn introduce himself first.
Oh
and
yeah,
then we'll
please
go
do. Yeah, please do.
Stefn, do you hear us?
Yes.
Would you like to introduce?
Now.
Okay. Would you like to introduce?
Me?
Yes.
Yep.
Could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yes. I'm Stefn Thorsman, and I am a rune worker. I've been working with the runes since 1994. I make runes and I give rune readings. I appear at various shows all over California. And up until just a few months ago, I was the house rune reader at a little shop in Grass Valley, California called Cult of Gemini. But unfortunately, because of the coronavirus, they're closing up. So I'm going to still continue to give readings to people. And they can contact me via email and with a phone number, and I will call them and we can do a rune reading over the phone.
Awesome.
Cool.
Very cool. Okay, Justin, would you like to start since you're all revved up and ready to go?
Yeah, sure. So I like to put my hands on my heart. And so let's go ahead and invite the divine in, whatever you may call that. I call it God, Creator, God, Creator of all it is. Thank you for this opportunity for us to be able to speak and to talk about energy, to talk about intentions and blessings. I would like to send a blessing and healing to all those who are listening today. May they feel calm, relaxed, healthy, and strong, and release any fears that they may be going through in their lives. Amen. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, Stefn, do you have something planned?
I call upon the All-Father, Woden, because this is his day. No, I just shoot from the hip. I just speak from my spirit, and I call on the All-Father to ward us and bless us and give us the inspiration and the enlightenment that we need. And I ask for the healing goddess Ir to bless this earth and remove this horrible virus that has afflicted this country and heal everyone who is sick.
Very good. Very good. Well, Would you like to talk about energy? Do you work with, I would think, Stefn, you work with energy as well through your intentions and the ruins and your work, and how
I do. You can raise energy. We have a slight delay, so I have to remember to let you finish speaking.
Okay.
But it is possible. It is possible to raise energy with the runes.
Justin?
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I couldn't tell if what I said last time came through.
Yeah, it did. It did. It's coming through. Were you done? I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, it's okay.
I'm really interested in what you have to say. I find you very interesting and want to listen to what you're talking about here.
Thank you.
You're super cool.
This delay.
It's killing
this
you.
delay really makes it. This delay makes it super difficult.
Okay, let me see if I mute Justin, if there's still a delay on it. Is there a delay now? I think so. I'm going to go to Justin.
Yeah, there is.
Okay. Maybe you're not. Are you connected directly into the internet, or are you on Wi-Fi? I have to know these things.
Wi-Fi.
Okay. That might be it.
It doesn't matter, though. I did a podcast yesterday.
Oh, maybe it's.
I did a podcast yesterday, and we had the same problem, and I was connected right to the internet.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm going to move on to Justin, and we're going to talk about energy with Justin.
Yeah, sure. What would you guys like to know? Energy, how I got started, or
okay.
Just this is kind of, I really want to reach the layman too in the show, because a lot of them don't understand energy, intentions, and blessings, and prayers. And so maybe we can talk about that. I know you and I had a conversation. We took a sound healing class together, and we all kind of had to talk about it. So
so the work that I do, which is theta healing, we work with the subconscious. So we know that we are consciously only using about 10 to 20% of our mind's power, and so we know that the subconscious rules and dominates about 80 to 90%. And so when we the way that we work with the subconscious is that we work through belief systems. So a person can inherit many belief systems within their childhood, like I have to be poor, I have to be weak, or any of those kind of belief systems that if we believe it, we create it. And so it very much aligns with the law of attraction, which is whatever you set your intention on, you're going to create, and from that vibration. And so with the modality that I do, there's a technique that connects us with the creator. And the creator is whatever you understand the creator to be, whether that is consciousness, whether that is source or God. It works with all your belief systems. And so with that connection, you can develop a relationship with that, a very strong relationship, and you can change the belief systems within your subconscious so that you can create a different life that you want. And so essentially how this helped me was I was dealing with accepting myself for being gay, and I had dealt with shame and not being able to accept myself because of my family background. And this modality really helped me feel what the energy of unconditional love felt like. And so this is a very cool modality, and it's just a part of the energy field, because energy is so broad, and I know that everyone has their own method or craft that they use. And this was the one that really stuck out to me. So that's why I teach it as well.
Do you practice sound healing?
Oh yeah, of course. I love sound healing.
Okay. I was going to ask, do you deal with a lot of past life stuff when
Oh
you're
yes, I
doing this?
do.
And so there's a lot of belief systems or traumas that come through with the subconscious. That's kind of where I'm at personally in my healing journey, working with those energies now. So it's interesting. I want to try theta healing. I haven't tried it yet. So before you come on, we're going to do a theta healing.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you want to add something, Stefn?
Well, I just like to say that what Justin has said is absolutely correct. We create our own reality with our thoughts. Right. And whatever it is that we focus on, that's what we attract. So if you're constantly thinking, I have bad luck, nothing ever good ever happens to me, you will attract more of that. So you have to make a conscious effort to think good thoughts, which are just as easy to think as bad thoughts, but inherently we always seem to focus on the bad. We think the worst of ourselves, we put ourselves down, and we say things to ourselves that if someone else said them to us, we wouldn't stand for it. Right. So we have to make a conscious effort to bring goodness and light and positivity to our lives ourselves.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Very true. And some of those are very, I know for myself, very deep and buried. I'm just going to share
personal.
A personal story. I was working with an energy healer, and I haven't delved in meditation into my past lives too much. So I had pain behind my eyes and pressure, and it's gone now after that. But I had my eyes gouged out in another lifetime because I was a seer. And so, very interesting, and how it can affect our bodies even.
Yeah.
And we're not aware because it's so buried in our subconscious. So just for the layman, everything's energy. Absolutely. Thoughts, beliefs, judgments, words, chants, prayers, everything's energy.
Vibration.
Yes.
Absolutely. Do you use any instruments in Ruin in doing what you do? You're Stefn, you are what is it called? Kindred. I'm sorry. Thor the Kindred.
The Hammer of Thor Kindred.
Yes.
The Hammer of Thor Kindred is our church. It's actually our church. It's a group of people who gather together and worship as a tribe. And it's more of a tribe. As far as using tools in my rune work, I only use the runes themselves, but sometimes I use the sidereal pendulum. And I use the pendulum to confirm a reading if I'm unclear.
Interesting.
But other than that, I just use the runes themselves.
Interesting.
And it's pronounced rune. It's not ruins. Ruins are broken down buildings.
Okay. Rune. Correct?
One syllable. Runes.
Rune.
Right.
Okay.
Right. It actually means secrets. It means whispers or secrets.
Interesting. I always learn something new with you. I don't know where to go with this. I'm sorry. Let's just talk about some of our personal experiences with energy, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Justin, do you have personal experiences with working with energy?
Oh yeah, many of course. Yeah, I've been doing this for about 6 years now. Really had no background in spirituality or religion, and what really opened it up was the theta healing. And we don't use any tools in theta healing. We mostly just do a meditation that connects you with the creator of your understanding, and it's all consciousness, consciousness or energy. If we're tapping into that inner power that we have, and so we really expand upon our intuition when you use this modality, because we're connecting with the crown and the divine. And so the crown is what naturally opens up for most theta healers. And our intuition just grows from there.
Okay, I have, well, Chaz won't be on for another 15 minutes, but I am a vibrational or vibroacoustical sound healer. And so I don't know if you've ever experienced this. You have headphones on, so you're listening to frequencies, and the table vibrates. And it's very powerful. And I also do Reiki with that. I shouldn't. It's too powerful. But the frequencies have been very useful in healing people. So,
Julie, can I ask you a question? Do you use tuning forks or singing bowls in your healing?
yes, I do. I have crystal singing bowls. I have a Tibetan singing bowl here. I do have tuning forks. I love my tuning forks. I don't know if Justin,
I use tuning forks. Yeah, I love my tuning forks.
I love those. They just move the energy so well.
Yeah.
What else about energy? We can talk about.
I love my dinner fork.
Do you? I do too. Energy. We have stuck energy is the belief systems, the bad belief systems that we have.
Yeah.
And so basically we're energy movers in this, and we invite in good energy to heal, correct?
Right, of course.
So that our clients can relax. Whoever we're working on will relax and get into that theta frequency to heal their own body, right?
Yeah. I would like to share a little bit about energy.
We use
if you don't mind.
a different technique.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Stefn.
Would it be okay if I share something? Okay. So a lot of the work that I do, if a person's feeling some kind of physical pain in their body, you can actually move that physical pain through changing the subconscious, because a lot of our mental and emotional state also can manifest physical illnesses. So for example, if a person went through some kind of like divorce or grief, and they were holding on to that grief for many years, it can, if they don't deal with it on their own, it can manifest into a physical illness. And so energy is not just like a myth or like something that is ideal. It has like a component of mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. It's all interconnected. And so I truly believe that the way that I approach it is very different. And it's kind of like, yeah, we are energies in these human bodies, and these human bodies are energy too. And so I just wanted to share that that thought.
Absolutely. Stefn?
Are you speaking to me?
Yes. You wanted to share
You said
something?
Justin. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes. We use we can use the runes to move energy as well. I was at a gathering in Indiana about 10 years ago, and there was a young man who was having stomach problems, and he couldn't eat solid food. So we had him lie on a table, and he showed us where the blockages were. And what we did is we drew runes on him with our fingers, and then we chanted, or what's called Galder, the runes over him. And we worked on him for about 45 minutes, chanting the runes and pushing these blockages away. And at the end of the evening, he was able to eat solid food for the first time in almost a year.
Oh, wow. That's a great story. Yeah. I'm just amazed, you know, I'm still even though I'm doing this, I'm still kind of a skeptic, and I'm just like, you know, I just had this energy move a few days ago on Monday, and I'm like, it's gone. I don't feel it anymore. Yeah, and that's from a past lifetime that, you know, and of course with that, you know, that was a seer lifetime where it carries that vibration that I'm afraid to be a seer in this lifetime.
Yeah.
And fearful for my life, you know, to use that type of ability.
Yes.
So, and moving past that.
But being a skeptic is good. Challenging your own belief system is good and healthy.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you grow.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I have to share. I don't know. This is Chaz is a healer that I went to, and eventually he became my teacher. And one of the first times I was on his table, I'm like, just turn it up, just like crank it up. Let's do this. So while I was on his table, I'm getting visions, and at the same time, I am feeling my spirit come out of my body, rocking back and forth. It was just the weirdest experience I've had. But he picked up on it. That I at that time I was also working on past lives and trying to let go of what I didn't know I was carrying around with me. And he picked up that was one of my past lives, you know, that energy of past life stuff. So I know.
Was he using sound and vibrational therapy with you?
I was on his vibrational table. Yeah. And since then, it's like we can just turn that down a little bit, you know. So we're a little bit more comfortable. We don't feel like we're going to float away or anything. Well, I'm hoping Chaz will join us. If you guys want to share anything else about energy or any other stories about energy, that's a fascinating story about the chanting. It's almost shamanic in a manner, that your story from Indiana and writing the symbols and chanting. Do you have any?
Yeah. It was the first time that I'd actually seen how powerful and how well the runes could really work. You can read about the runes all you want, but actually putting them in place and using them with sound, by chanting the runes, you're creating vibration. Yeah. And by chanting the runes, you're actually sending energy. You're directing energy into a specific spot. And when I got done, I felt that this was a good example. It's like reading the owner's manual to a Lamborghini and the difference, but then going out and actually driving a Lamborghini. And so I saw how powerful and just exactly what the runes could do after that.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, Justin, you've got a couple more stories to share with us, don't you?
I was actually going to offer if I can do some work around your eyes. You're saying that you had a past life as a seer, and you may have been killed or had your eyes gouged out from that. Would you be willing if I can do some work around that just really quickly?
Right now?
Clearing? Yeah. If
Well, I know
okay,
it's gone. It is gone,
okay.
but if you want to do anything, sure, let's go for it.
Yeah, so the lifetime where that did happen, can I go ahead and have the creator of your understanding resolve that lifetime, clearing any shock, trauma, fear of using your intuition as a seer in this lifetime? And can I have the creator of your understanding give you the knowing that it's now safe and possible for you to use your abilities of sight and clairvoyance and in the highest and best way, and it's safe and possible for you to. Can I have that be done for you, Julie?
Yes, you have my permission. Yes.
Yeah. So everything that we do with this work is always verbal permission. We always work with the law of free agency. So I have to ask your permission to do any kind of energy shift. So I'm gonna have that be done now for you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And any fear that you're carrying in your eyes, I believe that the eyes are the window to your soul. And if you're carrying any fear there, can I have the creator of your understanding release that fear and replace it with unconditional love? Can I have that be done for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so on your side, are you feeling the energy shifting, or are you feeling any kind of sensation energetically?
I'm getting pressure around my ears.
That's good. So that's confirmation that it doesn't matter where you are in the world, this energy it works anywhere for anybody. So.
Absolutely. I didn't practice distance Reiki too much. But recently during this pandemic, I've had a couple opportunities to do so. I'm more of a hands-on person, and you kind of need validation from the other side, from who you're working on, that they're feeling those sensations, and or tingling or warmth or cold or whatever comes on their side. But it's very interesting to be able to connect and pick up the energy from them and their emotional energy, and then discuss that with them.
Yeah.
I don't. You're a counselor as well?
I'm the same way. I'm a very tactile person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah. No, I'm not a counselor, but then the work that I do is pretty much helping someone overcome their limiting beliefs or belief systems that make them feel miserable about themselves, or anything along those lines. It works really well with like PTSD, any kind of autoimmune disease, anything where the mind is like attacking itself. You can change the subconscious beliefs to help alleviate that.
I had another experience. I was working with an intuitive healer, and one of my close relatives has colon cancer. And I didn't tell this person their health or my health history. And in doing so, we were working with cords and removing cords, and came across a cord that was attached to my intestine. And this cord went to that relative. So it's an energetic connection, ties that bind, right?
Yeah.
Last year, I had a colon polyp removed from that very spot that the cord was attached to. And I actually felt sore. It felt like I had surgery like for 2 or 3 days after. I was like, whoa, I hadn't had that sensation in a long time. But it was a very interesting experience. That's why I do this work. I love it.
Yeah.
And
Amazing. Yeah.
so,
Do you have any shows coming up, Julie?
yeah, I have my next Wednesday. It's the Yoni with Michelle Strange and Elizabeth Hurst Stewart, and we're going to be doing a live Yoni steaming. Be interesting.
Okay.
June 10th, Ghost Stories. The 17th, Psychic Joseph Ernest Martin's coming on. The 24th, I'm going to have Rose Proud, which is an animal.
I like Joseph. Joseph's a good guy.
Isn't he? I love him. Then the 24th of June, I have Rose Proud, who's an animal communicator, coming on.
Cool.
I need to get my dog worked on. He's got anxiety.
Uh-oh.
I just booked Lynn Ross on July 15th. She owns Mystic Body and Soul Wellness Spa. I was screwed that up, so I had to write it down. The 22nd of July, I have a storyteller coming on. I'm reading his book. It's 9 Days to Atlanta. He's a 17-year-old kid, and he's writing from I don't know, somewhere in Texas. It's a long ways, 9 days to get there on his bike. So this journey of him going on this trip is really good. So he's going to come on and tell stories. Then I have another show, the 29th, with Angeline Romero Hall, who's a local up here in South Lake Tahoe. And then Teresa Bullich, who's from Oregon, who's also another sound healer. We're going to be talking about Reiki and probably some more energy stories.
Nice.
And then the intuitive that I worked with is Dr. Don Bailey. He's also an animal communicator as well. And he works with Chaz is here.
I see.
Hi, Chaz.
Hello.
Hi, Chaz.
Okay.
From Valve Vibrations.
So glad to see you.
Yes, I'm very excited to be here in this virtual mind tank of like minds. Very, very.
Yes.
Would you like to introduce yourself to TV land?
TV land, everybody out there that's listening and vibrating with us. My name is Chaz from Vibrational Souls. I look at life as vibration, as everything moves and has a key or a tone, and through that element we learn how to move in harmony with ourselves and with the environment. And we also learn the greater structure of what harmony represents in the universe and the higher aspects of our mental capabilities of thinking and loving. And so I developed technology and music that is based upon those principles, working with vibroacoustic technology to send raw frequencies into the body, and working with the concepts of how actual physical frequencies affect the body, like breaking up a kidney stone and using specific frequencies for a kidney stone. I'm working with music to create some type of mood and putting those together. And so we can think about your favorite movie and how that makes you feel, and we can think about the most powerful frequency and how that made you feel, and putting that together is kind of an ideal of what I do. And just sharing a lot of love. There's so much fun right now going on with being able to take things that haven't been done before, or haven't been done in a long time, and reintroduce them into society and see how they react, so we all can grow right now.
So can you tell us about where you work and and some of the things that you do, which are wonderful. And I know you've got some projects you're working on as well. You did a CD not too long ago.
Yeah, well, thank you. I work at In Light Hyperbarics here in the Portland area. We are a naturopath wellness center that has a naturopath doctor, as well as works with hyperbaric oxygen treatment and different types of LED and infrared light therapy. As well as I work here as a music and sound therapist with my vibrational sound table. And we do combination work between working with the naturopath who does vitamin therapy work and vitamin drips with hyperbaric oxygen and light therapy, and then mixing in the vibrational sound therapy with it. And so we're kind of a new wave, as some people would think about wellness center, but yet all of our therapies are based on ancient traditions. They're just reinvented in new ways in the modern society.
Okay. Well, can you speak more to? I just took your class in the last 8 months here, and we were talking about intentions. Right? Can you speak to the crowd about intentions and how important it is in your work to use those intentions?
Wow. So it is so powerful that I don't think you could have it out of the formula and not get success. That's how important intention is. So if you were to put, you have your equipment, let's say your singing bowl or your sound table or your massage arts, whatever that thing is, and even a football player, and you take the intention out of it, the success level is going to go down because there's no direction for the cosmic energy to go with. And we work in tangent with that. It's an interactive play, and I'm sure you guys were probably talking about Dr. Yodamoto already.
No.
You guys haven't talked about Dr. Yodamoto yet?
No, we haven't. Go for it.
All right. So Dr. Yodamoto was an amazing scientist in Japan, who's a natural scientist that wanted to prove to the science community that intention could actually affect physical matter. And everybody at that time in the 70s was all that's hippy dippy. No, it's not true. And what he did was a very simple but very intelligent way to prove that intention can change matter. And he basically took classes, a little bit nicer than this one, and taped intention to it. And he would tape love, hate, all different types of things like that to them. And then he would freeze them. And immediately after he freezed them, he would take a picture of what the crystal of the water would freeze like. And he would show the difference between these different intentions. And I'm sure you guys could probably think what hope would look like. It was like a big squiggly line, like all this kind of crazy stuff. And then something like love or harmony, or they also were putting things like joy and spirit, actually created full geometry and different styles of geometry, stuff that looked like snowflakes, other things that look similar to what we would see being grown like in a pine cone or a leaf pattern. And this was very beautiful to start understanding that our intention actually does create a physical imprint into us. Or maybe at a small vibration on the water level, but that is still an impressionable level nonetheless. And then we have Einstein, who is, if you like that, that's kind of the, okay, you're like into crystals and that kind of stuff, you meditate. And I love science, so I'm on the other side. Let's over here to all my Einsteins and all my, physicians and into physics and astrotheology and all that kind of fun stuff. Well, look at Einstein. Einstein had the hardest time ever repeating an experiment that he did himself. The minute his intention changed for the experiment changed. And he wrote down, he actually got to the point where at the end of his experimental career, he would have removed himself away from the experiment and have somebody else do it to try to get the exact same, to see if he can get the same result.
Oh, wow.
And so this is known in the scientific community as well, too, not just in the metaphysical community. So we know deep down, scientifically proven, without a doubt, intention actually changes the reaction, the outcome, and some form of physical matter.
Or
I
we
believe
wouldn't be doing what we're doing now,
The
right?
molecular structure.
Yeah, exactly. Molecular structure. And so it is one of the most powerful elements that we can use in any direction that we're doing, whether we're doing healing work or whether we're just creating something or we're trying to live our life. The minute we put intention to it, we see that force get amplified, like we hear in the Bible tenfolds, because our heart is now aligned and we're moving with that intention.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing it. What time do we have here?
He took pictures of the molecular structure of tears, tears of happiness and tears of sadness. And there was a big difference in the molecular structure and the shape. Like you said, snowflakes. Wow. So I saw some very old shamans that when they would cry in ceremony, they would keep their tears for a very special thing. So that makes a lot of sense that the structure during those tears were very significant. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Wow. That's interesting. Is that available online somewhere? And we can look that information up?
I don't know. I don't think so. People that we're doing it were very deep. But you could do that yourself. The next time you're crying, there's something, keep your tears. I mean, I've in the last 5 years of my life acquired the ability to cry. When I was younger, I always held back, and so when I do cry now, I'm like, oh wow, and so I might try that. I buy a little special dropper and start keeping my tears. That's cool.
But I want to see the crystals in the microscope and the difference between the two. I want to get sciencey. So we in our class.
Well, there's a book that actually has the pictures in it
with the tears. Are you Stefn, the tears themselves? Do you know the name of the book?
And the glasses of water that he was talking about. I'm sure if you Google the doctor's name, it'll come up.
The same doctor.
Probably Dr. Yodamoto. I think
yes.
The
Japanese.
The secret of water, the secret life of water, the secrets of water. I think.
Yes, I think that's it.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get that.
I think that's it.
It is definitely. I don't even own it. I just have tons of PDFs from it that people have given me and I've collected. But I have so many PDFs. I probably should give it the honor and buy the book.
So you can pull it out.
Yes. I've done that
when you're teaching class.
Yes, it's important. And to give the respect to the respect due. He did such a great job sharing that information.
Yes.
I came on a little late. Do you mind introducing our other two guests so I know their names?
I'm Justin. Nice to meet you, Chaz.
Pleasure to meet you.
Justin's a theta healer.
I'm Stefn.
And that's Stefn. And they do. I met Stefn through the shows, the holistic shows. Justin, I took a sound healing class with in Auburn, which is a fantastic class. He was a science. He had little stations everywhere for us to play with. It was fun.
Yeah, a lot of information.
Doug and Bridget Parvin down at Studio B in Auburn. So if you want to become sound healers, or Chaz himself, he offers quite a bit of stuff online.
Yeah, there's so many beautiful resources. I think if you want to become one, just look inside yourself and start doing it. That's the first. Find whatever makes you the happiest, whether it's singing bowls, toning, listening to music, whatever it is, and just start doing it, and poof, you're a sound healer.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
It becomes very intuitive work.
Yeah. It starts with an action and the love for the action,
So I'm gonna give you a heads up, Chaz, because I already told Stefn and Justin that I'm gonna ask this question, so I'll give you a couple minutes to think about it. Okay. I'm writing a book. It's called The Theory of Eight, and the theory is based on what you wanted to do when you grew up, when you were 8 years old. What did you want to grow up to be? And the theory is, if you did that, that would make you happiest and most abundant in your life. But there's a caveat. You have to heal whatever issues you had when you were 8 in order to become that. So that's a theory of 8. And so I'm going to ask Stefn first. What did you want to be when you were 8?
Well, I loved monsters, especially the Universal Studio monsters, especially Frankenstein, because when I was a little kid, I had really, really large ears, and the kids made fun of me, and they called me monster, they called me freak, and so I identified with Frankenstein to a large extent. And I saw some pictures of Jack Pierce, the makeup artist who did the Frankenstein makeup, and I decided that I wanted to be a monster actor like Boris Karloff and like Lon Chaney, and that's what I felt would bring me the most happiness.
Are you doing anything remotely similar to you dress up for your ceremony?
Not anymore.
Okay. All right.
No, I collect Frankenstein memorabilia.
There you go. Thank you. Justin?
Yeah, so this question is very common for many youngsters, but then when I was 8, I didn't have like an occupation I wanted to be. I wanted to be a resource of information for people. Whatever that resource could have been. I didn't think of being a teacher or any kind of mentor or coach. I just wanted to be a resource that people can go to. And that naturally unfolded into my late 20s. And so I remember that question very well. Thank you for asking.
You did a lot of therapy when you were a realtor as well, right?
No. I never was a realtor.
Yeah, I thought you were a realtor.
No, I was never a realtor.
I thought you sold real estate.
No, you got that mistaken. No.
Oh, I'm wrong. I'm sorry, but
It's okay.
we do. Realtors are therapists, so.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin. Chaz?
Thank you.
Wow, when I was 8. Well, it's kind of funny because I think back a lot. When I was 8, the two things that inspired me the most was playing my drums and watching Indiana Jones. And so I think, in my head, I was, that, and I like fire trucks, you know what I mean? You mix all that together. Came close, I like to go adventure in the jungle. I don't play the drums that much, but I love drums. I program a lot of drums. So that's kind of, it's like I'm like a drummer, right? The cool drummer, I program drums. But I think as a kid, it was just, the root of it was making people happy is what I think I wanted to do. Make people smile, and that's what I was always around doing, try to put up these elaborate things to make people smile. I put on little shows for my parents, to make them smile and just different things. And so I think deep down inside, I wanted to have a profession, or I wanted to do something that made people happy and made them smile. And so, yeah, with a big whip and a fire truck.
In the jungle.
In the jungle, yeah.
In the jungle. Oh, great. Well, thank you. Well,
what about you, Julie?
I wanted to be an author. And
nice.
so I've already kind of done that. I've written 2 anthologies, or been part of 2 anthologies, and published a book 2 years ago. So obviously I'm going to write more. Also wanted to sing and dance, so I don't know where that's going to come in. I guess with my drums, huh? Right? I really appreciate all of you coming on the show tonight. I'm going to cut it a little.
Thanks for having us.
I really welcome all of you to come back on individually, because I'd love just to spend like some time with each one of you, more in depth. And I really appreciate you coming on tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us, Julie.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're going to say goodbye tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Blessings and
Bye,
balance,
everyone.
everyone
See
out
you later. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.